Hello everyone. In this video, we will be looking at Provider, one of the most popular state management in Flutter. I have built two identical applications, one using SetState and another using Provider. And this video is divided into two parts for two applications. I'll be uploading this entire code on GitHub so you can follow along with me. Alright, so first let's look at our SetState approach. And this is the basic application that I have built. As you can see, we have counter widget at top, product list on left, two color box on right, and a control button at the bottom. App is pretty simple, but when I click on any of these control button, you can see a lot of print statement in terminal, which indicate that app is rebuilding. Although I just implemented the counter, you can see everything is been rebuilt, like this entire widget is rebuilt. So this is the fundamental problem of SetState in Flutter. Now let's look at code in detail. So here we have homepage stateful widget, and inside it we have 4 state variable, and there's a build method that return the UI structure. And if SetState is called anywhere under this homepage stateful widget, then this build method will be called and it will rebuild this entire UI again. So in our UI, we have the counter card widget, product list widget, color box widget, and control button widget. So I have separated these 4 components. Now let's see our first implementation of counter card widget. So in counter card widget, we have the relevant print statement and a text counter. So we have a print statement, a counter value as a text, and the dollar counter, which is the value of our state variable counter. So initially it is 0. Now let's look at our product list. So in our product list, we have the relevant print statement and a text product, and the value of length of product list, which comes from the state variable. So at first there is no product, so the length will be 0, but for now it is 2. And below it we have the list style widget. So there's a list view builder, and in expanded we are checking whether the product list is empty or not. If it is empty, then we show the relevant print statement. If it's not empty, then we show the list view builder inside expanded to build the product list. And when this builder iterate over every product list, we simply show it as a text in our UI with the help of our state variable. So same goes for our color box widget as well. We have the relevant print statement and a text color box, and in column we have again 2 separate widget, build color box 1 and build color box 2. So for build color box 1, we are showing the container, and the container color is same with color as our state variable color box 1. So the container has a color as color box 1, which is our state variable, and same for box 2 also. We are showing a container widget with color as our state variable color box 2 and a text box 2. Now for our control button, we have some print statement to know each time when this section is called. And there are 4 control button. So we have 4 elevated button. Now, first we have elevated dot icon widget. So here we have icon as add and text add counter. On pressing it, we show beautiful print statement in our terminal, and we call SetState by incrementing the counter. So whenever we press this add counter button, uh, the print statement counter button pressed, SetState will rebuild everything, and we increment the counter and we call SetState, so it will rebuild the entire UI, and we will have the updated counter value as the state variable counter has been incremented. So for our product, we have elevated dot icon widget with icon as shopping cart, text add product, and on press property we show the print statement and we call SetState by adding product. So our product list except the string, so we are adding product 0, product 1, product 2, product 3 whenever we press the add product button. So for our color box 1, we have icon, text, and color box 1 state variable as the button color. So for color 1, button, we have icon, we have text color 1, and on pressing it we call the SetState and we toggle color between green and red using ternary operator. So for our color 2 button, same thing, we have one icon, text, and in on press property we have print statement, and in SetState we toggle color between blue and orange. So every time I use the control button, the entire thing is rebuilding. So this is the main problem, and it will impact on performance of application if application is large and complex. Now we have seen the problem. Now let's look at the solution using Provider. First of all, get the Provider package. After it, we create the provider.dart file. Inside the provider.dart file, we implement all our 4 state variable, separating it from UI part. So we create counter provider, product provider, and color provider with ChangeNotifier. Inside each class, we define respective private variable and a getter method for that variable, so that UI can get the value using the class instance. Now let's talk about ChangeNotifier. This is part of Flutter SDK class, not the provider package. So the task of ChangeNotifier is to provide notification of changes to the listener. So in UI, we listen for the changes, and the task of ChangeNotifier is to broadcast those changes using notify listeners. In our counter provider, we have count variable and one function named increment, which increment the count value, and now it's important to call notify listener so that in UI the component listening to the changes, can get notification and can update the count in UI. Similar for product provider, we have one function add product, which add product to list, and after it we call notify listener. So in the UI component, listening to this change in product provider can update those value. And in color provider, we call notify listener after toggling the color. So app has 4 control button, and for each one we have implemented in this provider.file. We have called notify listener after each changes, and we have getter method. So UI get the latest value each time after listening to changes. Now let's see how we can implement it in the UI. Basically, we can implement it using various technique, but consumer widget is the most popular and common one. Before that, we have to do one setup in our vendor dot. So here we write the multi-provider and we list all the provider so that it can be accessed anywhere below the widget tree and inside anywhere in our application. Now let's look at our homepage. So the blueprint for homepage is similar to our SetState application. Here we have build method. So in SetState application, every time the SetState was called, this builder method would rebuild every time, and all this component also comes under this build method. So that was the main problem, and now our home page is stateless widget. It means that its state doesn't change. So how do we reflect the changes once we interact with our control button? So we do it using provider. So we no need the stateful widget. Now let's see implementation one by one. In our counter card, everything is almost same. The only difference is this consumer widget. So here we have used consumer, and inside it, it's generic type. So it tells the consumer which provider to listen for changes. Here we have written counter provider. So it only listen for notify listener inside the counter provider. So there is only one notify listener inside the counter provider, which is only called when we increment the count. So the consumer will get notification each time we increment the count via notify listener. And below it, there is a builder method. The task is to build it. So the builder method is this part. So the task of this builder method is to build this every time this consumer know that the counter provider has changed via notify listener. So the builder method has 3 parameters. The first one, obvious one, our build context. The second one, count value. So it is the instance of counter provider. It automatically get from this consumer. And this count value instance allow us to get this value. So count value dot count will get the latest updated count value. And the child is for optimization of this builder so that it can optimize during build. So this is it. We have implemented the provider, and inside it we have a simple text counter value and a text with actual counter value using the instance count value dot count. So this is it. Now let's see for build product list, which is also similar. There is one consumer widget and the generic type product provider. We tell it to listen for changes in product provider only. And we have builder method with 3 parameter, obvious build context. And second, we can give any name here. I have given product list. So this is instance of this product provider, and using product list dot product, we can get all the list of product. And a child for rebuild optimization. So this builder method is up to here. So every time there is some change in the product provider, the notify listener will be called and the consumer will detect it, and this builder will rebuild only this part for this product widget. And inside build, everything is same. We have a simple text product and we get the product list dot product dot length. This is the instance, and we show the number of product, and below we check whether the list is empty or not. And if it is not empty, then we build it using list view dot builder. For color box 1, there is a padding, column, children, and in expanded there is further 2 widget for color box 1 and color box 2. Now this is little different from above. In here we have used the selector instead of consumer. So in build color box 1, we have written the selector, and the selector has 2 parameter. The color provider, this tells which provider to listen for change, and the second parameter, it allow the specific property to listen for change. So here we are listening changes for color, and again we have selector. So this further pinpoint the exact property we are listening for change. So it also need 2 parameter context, and here you can give any name you like. And here using the instance, we write dot color 1. So we are specifically looking for change in color 1 only. Then we have builder method, same as our consumer, and we build it. So here we have one text box 1, and we have one container with the color same as the color 1 value from our provider. Same for the build color box 2. Here selector 2 parameter. First parameter says which provider to listen for change, and second which property to listen for change. The second selector exactly pinpoint the property we are trying to listen. So for here we are listening for dot color to changes, and the builder method is same. And here we have one text box 2 and the color of text as our color 2. So why we have used selector, we can also use provider here. We can also use consumer here. So let me quickly show you what happen if I use consumer here. So nothing much, there is very simple flaw in consumer for this specific part. Consumer color provider, property color provider, don't want this, and after it builder direct UI builder. First we need to give context, and second we can give any name we like, and third we need to give a child. Okay, yes, values. So to get the color 1 value, we should use the value dot color 1. Values dot color2. Okay. So now let's see what happened. So here we have used the consumer, and you can notice in this two provider there is only one notify listener. However, in this color provider there is two notify listener. So the consumer widget will get notification either the change is in color 2 or either the change is in color 1. So for this one, let's suppose I press this uh, color 2 button, then what will happen is that the toggling will be there, and if it is blue then it will change to orange. We just change here and we call notify listener. So this notify listener is in color provider, and in build color box 1 also there is consumer, and it is listening to notify listener of color provider. So it does not know whether to listen for this notify listener or this notify listener. It only know that something has been changed, as notify listener broadcast everyone listening for changes in color provider. So the color box 1 is also listening for change in color provider. So that is why this is also rebuilt in the terminal. You can see color 2 button pressed, and both are built as both consumer will be built, either one of notify listener will be called. So that was the flaw. So using selector we can exactly pinpoint the value. Now using selector you can see, let me reload it one more time. So here you can see color 1 button pressed and only color box 1 is rebuilt. Color 2 pressed, only color 2 button pressed and color 2 box rebuilt. Whenever I add counter button pressed, counter card rebuilt, no other thing. When I click add product, the product button pressed, product list will be obviously rebuilt, and here only product item 0 has been rebuilt. So if I add product, so see, product button press, product list is rebuilt, and the product 1, 2, 3 are rebuilt. So for color changes, only this part is built and only this part is built. So this is the power of using provider. So and in our SetState we can see what will happen. If I press add counter, then see counter button pressed, and it is starting to build thing from main widget, counter card, product list, and let's suppose I add 5 product, everything is rebuilt, and now I change the color to box, then see color to button press, main widget built, counter card, product list, color box, everything is built, and all this product 1 to 4 is being built. So yeah, that's it. We have completed the basic of provider state management in Flutter, and there are various things in provider to learn and explore. So for now, you can download this entire code from GitHub repo, change thing, and learn on your own.